to join the song. So he beat parade, yeah, yeah. He beat parade, yeah, yeah. He beat parade, yeah. He beat parade, yeah. Said I was walking on the road, not every load. Chatty secrets, so now everybody knows. Darling, won't you stay, please don't stand in love's way. Darling, won't you stay, I just can't stand another day. Cause you're a pretty young lady. Jamaica show you you're a pretty young lady. Since you want a pretty young lady, Lord, who want a pretty young lady, Lord. So if you get you out, you got to wait to the start. Cause this one is called jackpot. I say you'll make it right, the beat come all over you tonight. So what to join, you want to join the song. Say so, you want to join the song. Good God, so he beat parade, yeah, yeah. He beat parade, yeah, yeah. He beat parade, yeah. He beat parade, yeah. I said I sorry to say, but I'm on my way. I won't be back for many others. So good night, everybody. So good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. I said good night, everybody. Yeah. I said I'm sorry to say, but I'm on my way. I won't be back for many others. I'm sorry to say, but I'm on my way. I won't be back for many others. So good night. So good night. So good night.
Wake up, guys. We got work to do.
We do?
Well, I've got to get out the morning edition.
And we've got to get out the breakfast edition.
What's it say?
Snap, crackle, pop.
What else?
Snap, it's the snappiest sound to do. You gotta get cracking when crackle comes through. There's no stopping once pop is popping. Snap, crackle, pop, talking just to you.
Sounds good.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies, the talking part of this complete breakfast.
Good work, guys.
When it comes to breakfast, we deliver.
You probably think Nickelodeon is a channel
for little kids. Well, it is, until the big kids get home.
Then it changes into a channel of rock concerts and interviews, behind-the-scenes movie previews, and some great comedy. So even if you thought Nickelodeon was
For little kids.
that doesn't mean you can't change your mind. Nickelodeon.
This is Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for special delivery. But first, this.
There's something in you that doesn't like daylight. Better close your eyes and wait until you're called. What's it gonna be tonight? What's it gonna be tonight? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna be tonight? So what's it gonna be tonight? Lately I've been watching a little complex grow. You know, that's why I just to tell ya that hunger stands and till it flags makes your world turn so slow. You gotta know, there's no one going to help you. Watching you that side is through with everyone you know. You gotta know, that's how what's there around you. It takes you twice the time to find the things you're looking for. You move slow, no one will stop to tell you. Nights of anyone you please. Spend less time down on your knees. Lately I've been watching a little complex grow. You know, that's why I chose to tell you. Lately I've been watching a little complex grow. You gotta know, that's why I chose to tell ya that humble stands and feeling flesh makes your world turn so slow. You gotta know, there's no one going to help you. 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 There's no one going to help you.
Just under a year ago, we released an album called Silent Night. There were 2 more chapters on that album. One of them being chapter 2, called Don't Be Late.
Just don't be late. With his paw so tight under his arm, he sure is past halfway. And he'd said, don't be late. Just don't be late. I wasn't sure if I'd hear you. I'm glad you're still alright. It's all been arranged for its head. The street should be clear by then. I've done all that you told me. Sure that they will praise. The timing was made quite clear. If we're late, they will not appear. They don't know. They don't know how far we've got to. Pick up the snowy pace. You're running a losing race. No, soon we'll see them, then you'll know I have not delayed. He said, hurry and don't be late. You better hurry, you might be late. Just hurry and don't be late. You better hurry, you may be late. They will not survive. They will be alive. It's not too far now. I can only wish you luck, friend. I'm sorry, I know. This metal is a cold. I can see them waiting. A few more steps and you'll be there. He said, hurry and don't be late. You better hurry, you might be late. Just hurry and don't be late. You better hurry, you may be late.
Special delivery will return after these messages.
What kind of weekend has Skywalkers and Fast Talkers, Fun in Snow and C-3PO, Scoops, Poops, and Loop-the-Loops, Super Skates and Dancing Greats, Laser Lights and Amazing Sights? Only the Nickelodeon weekend with standby, lights, camera, action, special delivery, and Reggie Jackson's World of Sports. You'll wish the weekend would never end.
Dear Nickelodeon, I used to wonder if I could do anything. Then I saw Going Great with Chris Makepeace, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, if other kids can go into showbiz, train frogs, crew a sailing ship, learn to cook, form a rock group, then so can I. Thanks, Nick. You really got me going great.
Watch Going Great Tuesday and Thursday at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, and again at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Is this our cousin? Charles Darwin showed that life was continually changing, evolving into a new species. But when he said man's origin was not in the Garden of Eden, but in the trees, did he carry his ideas too far? Vladimir Lenin also believed in change, revolutionary change. He wrote it, preached it, and led the battle that overthrew the tyrannical czars. But did he free the Russian peasants or only enslave them again? This time to communism. Watch Against the Odds, Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, and again at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on Nickelodeon.
We now return to special delivery.
Afternoon, I introduce myself. The story to be told, you may need help. I know you were a headline for some time. Now you're part of a motionless mind. Lights have dimmed and the times have changed, and the world is watching at different stage. Don't you think it's time we had a younger face? Could slip away with no disgrace. So tell me, how long should we wait around? Don't you understand when you're down, we're down? The memory of a lasting flame is better, reruns, no shame. So tell me, there's one thing I must know. Tell me why you can't let go. There's one thing we must know. Tell me why won't you let go? How long do you think we'll last? Real continuous past. Memory of a lasting thing. You're looking less like me each day. So tell me, there's one thing I must know. Tell me why you can't let go. There's something we must know. Tell me why won't you let go? Tell me, why can't you let go? Tell me, why can't we let go? Tell me, why can't you let go? Can't you let go? Tell me, why can't we let go? Let's go!
This is Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Livewire. But first, this.
is Nickelodeon.
The one and only channel just for kids.
Other channels say they've got shows for kids, but Nickelodeon's a whole channel just for kids.
With all kinds of shows.
Every day, 13 hours a day, mornings, afternoons, and evenings. Nickelodeon gives you the choice.
And the choices are terrific.
So, if you haven't got Nick, get it. Nickelodeon is just for kids.
No other channel can say that.
Nickelodeon proudly presents The Adventures of Black Beauty, the continuing story of a brave young girl and her magnificent black stallion as they confront a gallery of villains. Black Beauty, a classic story of adventure, action, and heartwarming drama. Every day here on Nickelodeon.
What in the world is going on? Mr. Wizard knows. It's a show full of challenges. Can you name the mysterious bug zipping around in that water? Guess what Michael is up to? Find the flower that's still part of the apple. Or put a spoon in a glass before Stacy does. No hands allowed. To score yourself, watch Mr. Wizard's World. Today at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Only on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon is looking for a place to throw a party, and it could be your home. That's right. If you're the grand prize winner of Nickelodeon's Birthday Bash sweepstakes, we'll bring the party to you. Invite 20 of your closest friends. We'll bring gifts for each of them and the movie of your choice to show them. Party decorations, all the food you can eat, and a cake big enough to sleep on.
Surely that's all.
And that's not all. Pick one of these Nick stars as your special guest. Jake, Moose, Minus, or Fred.
Wow.
After the party, you'll get $100 to clean up the mess.
I guess the party's over.
The party never ends because we'll leave you with your own 19-inch color TV and home video recorder. 20 second-place winners receive big wing sailboards. Yes, we'll bring the party to you. If you're 16 or under, send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, and age to Nickelodeon Birthday Bash, GPO Box 2726, New York, New York, zip 10116. Enter as often as you like, but get them in before midnight, May 22nd, 1984. Elephant not included.
It's you and Pitfall Harry together again.
Rhonda, she must be dead.
In Pitfall 2, Lost Caverns.
Oh, electric eels. Where's Rhonda? Not bats. Amazon frogs. Oh, dead end. A balloon. Gold in the Raj diamond.
Condors? Don't fail me now.
Which way do we go?
Pitfall 2, Lost Caverns. Explore David Crane's newest from Activision.
Thank you. Ever wonder what it'd be like to be rich and famous? Well, I suppose we all have. Well, that's what we'll be talking about today on Livewire. Wealth and fame with millionaire Percy Ross, actress Terry Garr, Aztec's Two-Step, and Alan Petruccelli. I'm Fred Newman. Welcome to Livewire.
If I had $1 million to spend in 24 hours, I'd invest.
I'd buy me a beach house in California.
Buy myself a yacht.
And get a new wardrobe and some new shoes.
Well, I'd buy a baby blue Fiat with gray interior first.
And I'd give a lot to some institutions here in Cleveland.
Well, I'd put some in the bank for my college education.
I'd get a Rolls Royce, a Mercedes-Benz sports model.
And a plane ticket to Rio.
How many of you consider yourselves rich? Huh? Yeah, Trudy.
Well, emotionally, I'm rich because I have the love of my family.
But physically, I'm broke.
Broke, uh-huh.
Totally and without question.
Others of you feel that way? A little broke here?
Mhm.
Yeah. What would you do if you had a lot of money? If someone gave you millions, what would you do?
Well,
Would it change you?
yeah, it definitely would.
How?
First, I'd put a little bit for college,
Huh?
but the rest I'd go out and liquidate all stores in my reach.
Major damage with a credit card, I can see it now.
And clothes galore, jewelry, anything I can lay my hands on.
How about some of the others? How would it change you? Yeah.
Some people say that when you're rich, all of a sudden, you know, your personality changes and you become stuck up. I would never be. I think one of the best things about having money is being able to buy things for your friends. And I'd love to have money and not have like a care in the world. Come Christmas time, I'd be out buying them, you know, really nice things. And then turning around and buying nice things for myself and not having to worry about college or any of those kind of things.
Well, that's the right answer. And so what we're going to do here is give you some... No, that's a wonderful thing. That's the way I think I would be that gracious, too, if someone gave me the money. But it's hard to think how it would change you. You're going to say something back here. Yeah.
Okay, well, I wouldn't change really a lot. I would just feel happy that I had the money and I could set aside for my family if we ever needed it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. You wouldn't blow it all in one place?
No. I'd save it.
Yeah, how about it, Peter?
Once you get the money, though, it's a different story, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid.
I mean, first of all, if someone gave me $1 million, I'd kiss the person, and then I'd, you know, I'd just go wild, because you say, well, I'm going to be civil and I'm going to put it all away, but you get $1 million, and you're like...
It might change you like you don't even know how it would change you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell.
Well, some people find it easier to understand something like making millions or a millionaire, especially a millionaire who takes money, easier than it would be for someone who gives it away. But our next guest believes that he who gives while he lives knows where it goes. Please welcome Percy Ross. Welcome to Livewire. Thank you for coming. Now, a lot of people will know you because of your column in hundreds of papers across the United States, Thanks a Million, and you actually give away money. Why do you do that?
I don't actually give away money, Fred. What I do is I invest it with certain people who may need a few dollars to give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of help, and let them know that there's somebody out there in Minneapolis who cares.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, you heard this discussion about what we thought, how money might change us. What did you think about that? You've been in and out, you've made fortunes and lost fortunes. You've been at the top and really at the poverty level.
Right down to the very bottom.
Yeah. Well, how did money change you?
It hasn't changed me at all, really. It's changed me only to the extent that it has given me the means of helping people who I couldn't help before. And it's a lot of satisfaction in knowing that I can be helpful.
Now, I've read a lot about you, and a lot of people have, and you get a lot of publicity. And some of your critics would say that you might even be a publicity hound. How do you answer that?
Well, I don't mind a little publicity, and this is publicity, what I'm doing here today, but I didn't invite myself here. You invited me.
We did, indeed.
So I'm always asked out, and I'm not very bashful. If people like to have me come to their programs and ask me why I do things, I tell them why. I do these things because I enjoy the appreciation that I get. I like the smiles, the handshakes, a hug, a kiss on the cheek. And you know, I feel like the parents at Christmas time. When you give your children a gift and leave it under the tree, or a Hanukkah gift, I like to put my name on the bottom of that card. I want the children to know who's giving that gift. I like the appreciation I get. I like the thanks, the smiles, and if that's publicity, well, I love it. I love it all.
So something like your name on a hospital or something, on cold stone, is not something you'd really like to see, right?
Well, I'll tell you, what good is my name on a hospital? There's so many hospitals right now, and what good is my name on a hospital when many of the people I know, they can't afford to get in, and most of them can't even afford to get out. So I would rather have my name thought of in the minds of hearts of people and in their minds rather than on a plaque for years after I'm gone. That doesn't interest me. I'm interested in today. I want to see these children smile.
Yeah, so it's the immediacy.
Well, I think you've got to have some good questions out here, you know, right? Yeah. I want to ask you before I go over there. You had a heart attack a few years ago, right?
Quite a few years ago.
Did that change your life at all?
Oh, yes, it did.
How so?
I didn't think I was going to live through it, and I made a vow to myself that if I would live through it, and if I ever got lucky to make a great deal of money, I was going to spend it all before I die.
And you want to watch and see the work before you go, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we got some eager hands over here. What do you think, Debbie?
Mr. Percy said he likes to hear smiles, right? Correct? If you'd like to see a very big smile, give me $60,000 to go to Yale.
$60,000 to go to Yale? Or did you?
I think I'll get some scholarship.
Oh, well, if you get some, let me know how much you'll need. You know, you don't need the whole 60,000.
Jenny has a question. You're provoking me over there. Yeah.
Brendan and I would like you to know that we are up for adoption, and we're looking for a place to stay, and we're free for dinner every night this week. We want to help you fulfill your wish and spend all your money before you die.
But you're available this week.
This week, every day. And next.
You almost had me, because next week I'll be open.
This is a sharp crowd here.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I can't. I don't think I can adopt. I don't think I can adopt you. I think we're too old to adopt people. But you can come over for dinner. My wife and I would love to have you, if you don't mind kosher food.
You can put up with it. Sure. You must get a lot of people, though. This kind of thing, people coming to you and asking for things, and kidding or no, but people really asking you for lots of things. Isn't that a burden, though?
No, I'm here. No. He wasn't kidding about the 60,000. I made a mental note. But no, I don't mind them asking. That's what I'm here for. You read my column in the Daily News. I'm giving things to people. Why not ask me? I can always say no.
You were saying that you thought money would really change you.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, you talk about how you enjoy giving things to people all the time. When you do spend some of your money on yourself, besides more than living comfortably, I mean, what kind of luxuries do you buy for yourself?
Good question, Peter. I have all the luxuries I need. Remember, after I did become rich, I bought everything I wanted. I bought a lot of clothes, a lot of cars. I bought all kinds of things, but now I don't need them anymore. Now what I like to do is talk to people like you young folks. I like to write my columns so people can read what I'm doing. I don't need any luxuries. I have no yacht. I have no Learjet. And I buy inexpensive jewelry. I don't buy anything that costs a great deal. I like doing what I'm doing right now, talking to you children.
How do you pick the people who you give the money to, and who do you pick?
Boy, that's a good question. Well, you remember now, first of all, I was born very, very poor. And I came from a home where my father had to work very, very hard to eke out a living. And you wouldn't remember, but your parents might, your grandparents might, but I was a product of the Great Depression of the 30s, and where poverty was prevalent. And I lived in that time. And I know what it is to be poor. I know what it is to be cold. I know what it is to be hungry. When I get these letters from people and they're telling me about how they feel today, I relate to them. So it's not hard for me to understand when people write me why they're hungry, why they're poor, because I've been there myself. It's true I can't help everybody, but I do try to help as many people as I possibly can.
You said that you didn't think that the money had changed you, but you sound like a very intelligent man just by the way I'm, hearing you talk.
Thank you.
Don't you think, you're welcome, don't you think that people that don't have, that money opens doors is a good way to say it, that you wouldn't have had a chance to be as, educated and as, you wouldn't be sitting here on Livewire right now if you didn't have this. How many doors do you think that money has opened?
Not too many. People don't invite me to their homes just because I'm rich. And if they do, I won't go, if that's why they're inviting me. I like to go because I think I'm a pretty nice guy. Really, I mean that. And opening doors to me, remember, I have a very little education. I squeaked through high school, and my average was 74.51.
Let's hope for
I never could afford to go to college, So there weren't that many. The only doors that were open for me were those that I opened myself, those that I worked for. And I worked hard. I didn't work 8 hours a day. I worked 1 hour before 8 o'clock and 1 hour after 5 o'clock. I worked 10 hours a day, yes.
Yeah, I'll have to get up here.
Oh,
with the microphone,
I'm sorry.
I just want to ask you a personal question. Do you feel that having money and wealth and probably power and possessions really bring true happiness? I mean, do you feel that that these might be an accessory, that these might help you with happiness, but do you feel that finding true happiness comes with being wealthy?
No, but it sure does help. When you can do nice things for nice people and give them things that they couldn't have otherwise, it makes me very happy. Yes.
A friend of mine used to say, you can't buy happiness, but you can rent it for long periods of time.
Yes, that's true, Fred.
What if I were to write to your column and I can make up this big old lie to make you feel very sorry for me, and you could give me all this money and I already had everything I needed? Now, wouldn't that just be wasting your money and you don't even know what it's all about?
Oh, not exactly. First of all, we check on you. If it was for $100 or so, I don't mind being fooled once in a while, big deal. If it's a real good story, okay. But if it's for $500 or $1,000 or $5,000, I might call a friend of mine in New York by the name of Fred Newman and ask him to check on you to see if you really deserve the money. Okay.
Percy, you know, you have done remarkable work around, and it's really a pleasure for you to come on and speak with us about Livewire. Thank you very much. Percy Ross, pleasure to have you here.
Kids play harder than anybody else, and there's nothing like a kid big first.
Oh, yeah, I'm on my way.
You can feel it coming on, and you've got to have some.
Here I come to save the day.
Got to have some now. It's Kool-Aid to the rescue. From one more kid's big thirst.
So I see, refreshing and bright, yeah.
Got to have some more. All right. It's Kool-Aid to the rescue. The one for kids.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
For a kid's big thirst.
By day, Nickelodeon is mild-mannered and cute.
And we'll go on together.
Just right for the little guys.
I think I smashed my cookies.
But in the afternoon, watch out.
It's starting again.
We turn animal. Nickelodeon. The action is hard, fast, and just for kids.
Excuse me, sir. What do you think of Nickelodeon? Yes, everyone loves Nickelodeon. What's your favorite show? Against the odds, eh? You identify with the bold and brave who made history. And you, sir? Oh, I get it. You're jumping for Going Great, where young adventurers are remaking history every day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are great fun on Nickelodeon. Ask anyone.
Nickelodeon.
If I was rich, I'd start my day off by getting into my jacuzzi, which is in my bedroom.
I'd have breakfast in bed.
And go out, play golf.
Have a chauffeur take me out to a restaurant, have a great lunch, go to the beach, or
direct a film that's going on for about 8 to 10 hours.
I'd probably buy a nice house or something, and maybe a car, and just live comfortably.
Here's to the fields and streams. Here's to the hopes and dreams of America. Here's to the city streets, pumping the pulse and beat to America. Here's to the farms, the towns, the sights and sounds. Here's to the ups and downs of America. And here's to the tried and true, the red, the white, and the blue of America. Here's to the silver screen, oh, the music scene in America. And here's to the arts and crafts, people who make us laugh in America. Here's to the song, the dance, the true romance, all those who take a chance in America.
And here's to the people, too, whose dreams have all come true in America. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Here's to the working man, doing the best he can in America. And here's to the families living like refugees in America. Here's to the very young, the very old, variably left in the cold in America. And here's to the precious few, caring about them too in America. And here's to the so-called kooks, known as the anti-nukes in America. And here's to the peaceful souls, working for gun control in America. Here's to the blood, the sweat, the tears, the fears. Here's to the volunteers of America. Here's to all of you, doing what you can do in America. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Living in America, 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 living in America. Oh, yes.
Aztecs two-step. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Got Neil Schulman back here.
Hi.
And Rex Fowler down
Yes.
here.
How do you do,
Welcome. Thanks for joining us on Livewire. Is this a new song?
Yes, it is.
It's wonderful.
That's
Very
a-
nice.
It's a song about America.
Yeah, we sort of picked that up. And nicely done, I must say.
Americans.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got a lot of, you've been sort of, for years now, been slipping in and out of country and folk and rock. Where's your music going now? You know?
Do you have any idea where
Well, this
it's going?
song, by the way, Living in America, I mean, it's sort of a throwback in style to where we started. You
It
know,
is,
the
yeah.
60s Bob Dylan
Uh-huh.
kind of format.
In fact, a little profile here, a little Bob Dylan there. Would you get the harmonica? It does look a little.
Used to help at parties and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was about these people's ages, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Rex
Few
said
years
he
ago.
wrote that song, or that he got into this because Bob Dylan was the first person he saw with big nose and curly hair and got into
Large
show business.
nose.
And you
Large
said
nose.
there's hope for you, right? There's hope for you.
Hey, because before that was always the Beach Boys, you know, the blonde hair, wavy look, the muscle
Yeah.
type, and that wasn't
Yeah.
mine.
You got something against blonde hair? What's
Not
wrong
a,
with
not
blonde
a
hair?
thing, just that, you know,
Yeah.
the girls liked it a little bit better back in those days than
Oh,
they
yeah.
did curly hair.
Yeah.
you see.
Stereotypes a lot back
Thank
then.
goodness for Bobby D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you about your music. A few years ago, you had some big hits out and some albums, and then I didn't hear from you for a while. What happened? What happened?
Well, we've continued to play.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened. We just continued doing what we've done. I think a great deal of what happened is that the music has changed around us a great deal. There's been more of an emphasis on the synthesizer and the the new wave and whatnot. So that's been getting traditionally a lot more airplay in general than than our kind of music would. But we've pretty much maintained. We've continued doing what we've done all along.
So it's really, actually, we've had shows about how the radio stations have really frozen out a lot of musical groups, whites and blacks and other people, and particularly this kind of pure, simple sound that was so fresh a few years ago. It's coming back, though.
That's what we keep hearing.
Yeah.
But we haven't gone anywhere. We've continued to play for people who enjoy us, and we've played even more now than we ever have.
Well, you sell out a lot of clubs, especially in the Northeast. Doing
Yes,
a lot of work
yes.
in the Northeast. I've seen people lined up outside places to see you. Yeah.
Can
Do
you
you like
blame
working
them?
club work? I mean, does the live entertainment, do you like that more than studio work?
Yeah, it's a whole other ball game, really. I mean, the immediate feedback is wonderful. We've been working, for over 50, 60 hours on 2 songs in the studio right now. We're not done yet. So you have to kind of delay your gratification, not why we initially got into this. We got into it for let's do it. So that's fun about club.
Yeah, and your
live
yayas come
concert
faster in the
They
club.
sure
You
do.
can reach out. You can really feel people. I mean, doing TV with a studio audience is like that too. I mean, it's good. You can get a feedback. You can, you know, it's a nice feeling.
Let's get some feedback. See if we have any questions over here. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I didn't remember you when I just heard of you downstairs, and then I remembered you because it was a long time ago for me, which may not have been so long for you. But what did you think? What do you think about music now and where it's going?
Well, that's
where it's been.
Where it's
recently.
been. Well, it's been. How long has it been recorded? How long have people been recording music? But it's the music in general. I think Neil and I both like a lot. We like the new music today. I mean, it's fun to watch MTV and whatnot if that's the barometer for new music. But I like a lot. I think the attitudes are great, especially the attitude that they project in their music. You know.
Have you toyed with the idea of doing kind of video yourself?
Yes, we have. In fact, this song that we just did, Living in America, would make a nice kind of it wouldn't be an MTV necessarily type of video, although we hope it would get played on it, but it would more of a documentary, you know.
It conjures up, it's wonderful because it does conjure up all these images of people.
Yeah,
I can see that.
We would have fun making a video with this song. We
I hope
hope
you
to
do.
someday.
Yeah.
Do you guys play other instruments when you record?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Do you play any other instruments when you record, or do you is it always just guitar?
We bring in ringers. In other words, real pros. We have a great synthesizer player, great musicians. There's so many wonderful players around.
But we play our instruments that you hear us playing today as the foundation of the recording.
I was just wondering, where did the name Aztec Two-Step come from?
Good question. Good question. There's a poem by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, who's a kind of beat poet, and it's just a line in a poem, and it doesn't mean anything.
And we thought it meant a dance step, but later on we found out that it's a form of dysentery you can catch in Mexico. So
Slang, you know. But we like the name, so we keep it, you know.
That's interesting. Dysentery. I
yeah,
couldn't have
it leaves
associated
us
that with
open
you.
for critical, you know, battering.
How'd you two get started?
Well, we had met, I was from Maine originally, and Neil is from New York City, and he was going to school in Boston, and I had come down from Maine, and we met at a club there, and heard each other play, and thought we'd do better with one another as opposed to being individual performers, and it really did work just like that. There's a certain magic to it that clicked, and the rest is history.
Your harmonies are quite extraordinary. Your voices do blend so well. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What's more important to you? Being rich and famous at what you do, or just having a satisfactory music career that you're happy with?
Good question.
That's a good question, yeah.
Is this a
They
firm
don't know
offer
where
or
but
just
it's a good question.
hypothetical question? No. I think that what's important is to do something you want to do, and we're you know, there is a satisfactory. I mean, to be able to go out and play music, we'll settle for that and have people come and enjoy it. I'll settle. We'll do it in a vacuum if necessary. I can do it at home just for my own pleasure if that's what has to happen.
Like you said, your music is reminiscent of the 60s and a little bit of the early 70s. How do you think, what is the comparison you make between the way, how music influenced the way of life back then and how music is influencing life now?
I think that it's starting to, I think the influence then was tremendous. I think it changed the way we all live and dress and the way you all look and the way we look. I think now, I think it didn't for a long while, and now it's starting to come back and influence a little more, but not like it did in the 60s and the 70s. I mean, it really was a revolution.
The 80s are much more culturally, the music and the, you know, and the styles are
music
much
and design
integrated
and so forth,
now.
Yeah,
It's really,
it is
one
something
is
very,
influencing the other.
it's very fresh though now. I'm thinking for the first time in years, I've really felt a push in music that I hadn't felt until, you know, earlier, like we all felt. You've got another song for us.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this song.
Well, we were driving. We spend a lot of time on the road, as you can imagine, if you're in the entertainment business. And we were driving, typically in the car, pulling into the gas station to fill up the tank, you know. And we saw this real tacky black velvet cape of a former rock and roll star, the King.
Yeah.
Yes, this is. I'm sure you folks have heard of Elvis Presley. You know, he was the biggest superstar. He was the first real rock and roll star.
Talking about rich and famous, he was.
Yes, he
both.
was one of the richest and the most famous, and deservedly so. He
Yeah,
was
and something happened there too, because he didn't quite find that famous and all the wealth didn't quite do it for him. You know, something was missing.
Sure.
So.
So Well, we did. This is literally draped over the gas pump, and we saw this, and we thought, oh, how tacky. This is really terrible. Poor Elvis. So we bought it. Yeah, we had to buy it. We bought two, as a matter of fact, $8.95. And we took it back and gave it to I gave it to my sister, and she made it into the cape, because Elvis always had his capes. He liked his high collars. He was you see, now we have the cape, and now we also have the making of a song, which we call Velvet Elvis, appropriately, I think appropriately named. So you can get a better look.